Hello everyone. So here we are with the new part question, and in this question we have been asked to find the complement of a binary number. So what do we mean by a complement of a binary number is if you place the inverse of a binary number, like if we have 1 as a binary number, then if we find the inverse of this binary number, the inverse of 1 is 0 and the inverse of 0 will be 1. So in just the same manner, if we have been given a binary number as 101, then the complement of this binary number will be the inverse of 1 0, the inverse of 0 1, the inverse of 1 0. So the complement of the binary number 101 will be 0 1 0. So it's just like simple and as it is. Like if we have been given a binary number as 101010, so its complement will be 0. In place of 0 we have to place it 1. In place of 1 we have to place 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. So this is what which we mean by complement. So basically we have to write a code to print the complement of a binary number given to us. So first of all, I'm going to include a library name as include stdio.h to take the input values, and the next library that I'm going to include is string.h that will help me with string operations. So here I'm going to create the main function, and inside this main function I will create two strings. The first one which contain the binary value that we will input from the user, and the second one which will contain the complement of this binary value that we have taken from the user. And in the next line, I'm going to define an integer value named as length, length, which will store the length of this binary string. So here I'm going to take scanf. I'm going to input the value of this binary string, and for inputting and for taking string as an input we use %s. Now I have to store this input value inside the variable named as binary, and now I'm going to find the length of this length, the length of this binary string, and the function that I'm going to use is size of, or sorry, why should I use size of? I can use strlen instead of the size of function. I can use strlen because I've included the library string.h, which enables me to use all the string functions. So strlen binary, it will give me the length of this binary string. And now I'm going to run a for loop for I equal to 0, and I'm going to run this for loop for the number of times the length of this binary string, and increase the value of this variable I with 1 each time it completes one iteration. And if the ith element present inside this binary string, if this ith element is 1, then for that ith element append complement append 0. For every ith element inside this binary string which contains 1, append 0 at the same position, at the same ith element inside this complement string. So here I have taken the complement string and the binary string, and now I'm going to check that if the ith element present inside this binary string is 1, then I'm going to add 0 inside this complement string for every time it checks that it finds out that 1 is present inside this binary string. And here I completed. And the next statement is else if the binary value, if the ith element present inside this binary string is 0, if the ith element present inside this binary string is 0, then add 1 to the string, then add 1 to the string, then add 1 to this complement string. So this was very simple program. First of all, I'm running a for loop the number of times the length of this string, this binary string, and I'm increasing the value of I by 1 each time it completes one iteration. Now after then I'm checking that if the ith element present inside this binary string is 1, then append 0 to the complement string. If the ith element present inside this binary string is 0, then append 1 to the complement string. So this was all about this adding 1010 and finding the complement of this binary string. This was a very easy question. This was seriously a very easy question. And now after I end this for loop, after the end of this for loop, I'm going to I am going to add after the end of this for loop, I am going to add, just see this thing carefully. After at the end of this for loop, I'm going to add slash 0 at the ith position, slash 0 at the last position present inside this complement string. Why I'm adding this slash 0? Because this marks the end of this string. Slash 0 marks the end of this complement string. From this binary string, after the end of and at the end of this binary string, the value of I will be so if the length of this binary string is 7, then the value of I will be 6. Then at the sixth position, and the sixth index, I'm going to add slash 0, and slash 0 marks the end of this binary string complement. So after I find the complement of this binary string, I'm going to print this complement in the form of %s complement. So first of all, we created two strings, binary and complement. We found the length of this binary string using the strlen functions from this library from this library string.h, which helps us to use all of these string functions. After then, I'm running a for loop inside this binary string and checking that if the ith position is 1, if the element present at the ith position is 1, then add 0 to the complement string. If the element present at the ith position is 0, then add 1 to the complement string. And at the end, the last at the last ith value, to mark the end of this string, add slash 0. But before compiling our code, let's check that our code is completely correct or not. So okay, here I have not declared I as integer value, integer length comma I, and after then, okay, I have to remove this thing. Okay, so let's run this code. Okay, the binary value that I'm going to input is 10101010 and just give me the output. So the output of this question is this, the inverse of 10, the inverse of 01. So we have finally found the complement of this binary string. So this was a quite easy question as compared to all the pad questions that we received. So because basically in this question we have to just inverse the digits. If it is 1, then add 0. If it is 0, then add 1. So this is all about a very easy question which contains just inversing the bits present inside the binary string. So this was all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep learning, keep coding.